tried to have Ray in our cute little intro, and that's how it went. Okay, we just got back from the movies, so that's why I kind of look like a mess, because I got in the shower and whatnot. But basically, this is just gonna be like a little quick video. Basically, it's debrief recent upcoming movies. I do have like a podcast also about recent upcoming movies, but we talk about shows, all that type of stuff. This will just be strictly movies that we see in the theaters. So,
or who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But this is
Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon. You want to give your thoughts? I want to hear my thoughts. Yeah, the big guy from the Deadpool 2 and Y2K, and he's been in some other like comedy movies, and I think he was in some Taika Waititi movies, which I have not seen. He was fine. He wasn't bad, but I'm just like, he's just kind of doing the same thing in most movies I see of him. The one dude I just could not stand was the one who was just, his entire character was drooling over Astrid and not being loved by his dad. That were his two character traits, and I guess that joke was paid off in the end by his dad caring about him because he suddenly started to ride a dragon, which was funny, but I'm like, it got old. It got old. His character got old. I didn't really care for it. Then again, I didn't really care for them much in the animated movie either, but it was just especially pronounced how irritating they were in live action. But yeah, I really loved Gerard Butler. I have not actually Googled this to verify if that's Nick Frost as the, I don't know, Lexi, what's his character with the stump leg who trains them in the pit?
I don't know.
That guy. Yeah, that guy, the trainer, the second in command, I guess, to Stoic, Gerard Butler's character. Liked him. Yeah, overall, not a whole lot to say. I think they did a good job. It was a good movie for kids. I think adults get some enjoyment out of it too, and yeah. So, you got anything more to say about How to Train Your Dragon?
No.
Okay.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second one we're just gonna talk about briefly is 28 years later that we actually just saw. You want to start or me start? It was a lot. I wish I could sit on this one a lot more because it was a lot. I think I would give it like 7.5 out of 10. It was really good. I loved like the shots. I loved the characters except for the dad. He was kind of an L. I thought it was really emotional. I cried, and the little boy, and it did really good. His acting was really well. The end was weird though, and I think that's where I kind of felt like it was really fast and a lot was going on, and we were kind of wondering, okay, where's the dad the whole time? Like, where's the dad? And then you get to the end and you're like, huh? And then it just kind of ends.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like okay, you can say that's what they wanted, but it was like a weird ending. Like, I don't even know what his character name is. What is his name? The boy. So the boy in the beginning with the Teletubby TV.
The boy
survived. And in the end, that's supposed to be him. But I'm just confused. Why are they dressed like that? What does that have to do with the whole storyline? Why even is the kid refusing to go back there? What is he trying to accomplish? I guess I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
I just feel like it really ended with a lot of questions, and I'm still like, what's going on?
Yeah, The movie was very strange because there's a lot. It plays with a lot of ideas, and I've heard people call it messy. I don't think it's messy. I think it's very interesting and very ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't like the ending either. We got Jack O'Connell, the guy who played Remick in Sinners, showing up in a tracksuit with a bunch of other people in tracksuits, kind of doing this like choreographed like dance routine, almost
weird.
of
like,
taking out
like,
the zombies, and he's like wearing an upside down cross, and that's the only indication that I had that, oh, this guy that we're seeing here is the kid from the intro. And I'm not really sure what, like, if we're looking at it in just this movie, and I'm sure it'll be kind of expounded on in the other movies, like why, what the important, like the thematic, what the movie is going for is the mom and the dad and Ray Fiennes' character, Dr. what's his, Felsen?
Mm-hmm.
No, not Felsen. What's his name?
I have no idea.
Dr. Felsen?
What's your doctor?
Felsen, right? Is it Felsen? Ray Fiennes' character. Dr. Felsen, right?
Yeah, I think you had it right.
Okay, I was just going to say Felsen. They all have different views on
just saw it,
how they should conduct themselves in this reality they live. Like Aaron Taylor Johnson is very much the, go out and hunt and, be celebrated because of it. And, that's what being a man is. You have to learn these things to grow to a deeper understanding. And his mom is more appreciating like the beauty of life, and I have memories of this with my dad, and there's just more like a nurturing sort of aspect there.
Yeah.
And then Ray Fiennes, when he tells the mom she has cancer, his memento mori that we all must die, or all must die, it's really somewhere in between. Things are really neither really good nor really bad. It just is, and we should appreciate what we have while we're here. And I just thought that was a very beautiful statement, especially the sequence who's leading the mom into the fire after he shot her with the morphine dart. That was some I don't know, that was some powerful. There's some powerful imagery. The score really peaks in that moment, and that was like the highlight of the movie for me.
Yeah, we were both crying.
Yeah, I thought that really brought something new to the table. It's something certainly that I hadn't seen in a post-apocalyptic movie, zombie movie before. Yeah. You got more to say?
The beginning's like really nerve-wracking. The whole beginning is like on your toes type of stuff. And then you just get to like the end, or even the middle, and it just kind of takes like a sharp turn to like sadness. But I love the emotional roller coaster you go through it all. It's just kind of like, but then the end just throws it off, because then you're like, what's going on? Should I laugh? Should I cry? Should I be scared? Like, it seems like...
Yeah, I didn't... I wasn't the best way to end it. I think they could have done that a bit differently. Of course, we're going to see how it goes.
And, like, you just saw the dad, like, crying for his son and everything and trying to walk in the water, and then you see, like, that. It's just, like...
Yeah, being helped by a bunch of...
I thought we, like,
clowns
clipped to, like, a commercial or something. I was so confused. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, and he was that wig just looked not good on him. Like, it felt like people playing, like, LARPing. Like, LARPing on the set of 28 Years Later. It was just very random, and I honestly think you could move that scene of them watching Teletubbies and the young Jack O'Connell character, like, running into the church talking to that priest. You could have put that at the start of the next movie, and I think it would have made more sense. Like, just have this movie kind of stand on its own. That. Or maybe
switch it to maybe be like, whoa, he saw some when he was a kid, because like maybe if we saw that, we would have been like, in the start of the movie, we would have been like, ew, like, who is this guy? And then by the end, we would have saw the main character go through all this. and then basically them just maybe show that as like a little cut scene or something.
Yeah, like we're starting to tell the story of this guy.
Because in the scene, like, there's people saying his name, so we would probably like put 2 and 2 together, you know?
Yeah. The editing took a minute to get used to when the movie first started. I had to remind myself how 28 Days Later was, just sort of the frantic, whoa, like bombastic, like in your face, like you know, arrows are getting shot, and you see the explosion for close up and for a couple different angles, and when people are running, you know, cut to their backs and cut to their feet, and you got this like
eye right there.
You got this like ominous like soundtrack like playing throughout these scenes, and it's at first I was like, okay, this is kind of making me like, what are we doing here? And then once it sort of it settles in, and it uses those moments more sparingly. It's not over like a long sequence. It's over like a minute or two, and then it's sort of, you know, it's left to breathe by these sequences of emotional levity, or I'm like, oh, okay, you know what, I can get down with this. And from what I remember, that was kind of the vibe of 28 Days Later too. So I didn't mind it, although I can definitely see, you know, if someone didn't like that and didn't like the choice for it to be edited like that, then and they're put off by that, I can see that too. But for me, it mostly worked. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for those two.
I think so. Yeah. I'm excited to see what comes next for the How to Train Your Dragon live action sequel.
Yeah. And 28 years later, to be honest.
So, yeah. I think they both have they're very promising starts in their respective series, and I want to see what comes next. They have my curiosity. So
next video might be even shorter because I think we're just gonna do
F1. Oh yeah, the Brad Pitt movie. Okay, yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I like the new setup. I like the little comfy pink microphone, and yeah.
Today we're going to talk about
F1. F1, yes, we just saw F1. Great movie to see in the theater. I don't know really what I was expecting of this movie. I just saw that it was Brad Pitt and Damson Idris and the lady who plays Stacey Ermintrout in Better Call Saul. I don't know the actress's name. No, Carrie Condon, but I just know her as Stacey in Better Call Saul. And Javier Bardem, of course. I was very, very pleasantly surprised by this movie. I thought it was really exciting. It was a great theater experience. A couple hours ago. Yeah. It's just a great time at the movies. It has anything you'd possibly want in a sports drama. Not that there's too many great movies that come to mind in the genre, but I know there's Moneyball with Brad Pitt of almost a decade ago.
Yeah, I've never seen Moneyball.
Moneyball's good. I like Moneyball, but I think this movie kind of blows it out of the water. Just very. It was
emotional.
Yes. Yes. I was very. Yeah, it was unexpected. Yeah, go ahead.
And I also loved the adrenaline rush that I got just sitting in the seat watching them race. And you get to see a lot of the racing. Like they have like probably like 7 matches in the whole movie. I don't know, but
yeah, 9. But I think we only get to see around 7
at a certain point.
Yeah,
they skip some, but then you can see all these different settings. They go to all these different places, you know, because F1's like international. So you go into all these places, and I just love seeing all the, like, when they were at Dubai, and I think they were Brazil at one point. So it was just like cool to see all that too.
Yeah, everything in the movie is very, very well edited, well timed, well shot. The director Joseph Kosinski, he did Top Gun Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves that movie.
I
I
haven't
think
seen it.
I think it's fine. Like I saw it once and it didn't really blow me away, but yeah, I'm not as big on that movie as everyone else. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Um, but you really felt like you were like in a plane, like you were in the cockpit of that plane. That movie, it like felt very visceral. It felt very real. It felt like you were like watching a live stream of
Yeah.
a pilot. This feels like it puts you in that race car, and I think it's very very engaging. In a lot of movies, I feel like if you made a movie about racing, it would probably be a lot of just shots from the stands. There's the cars coming around the track. You get everything in this. You get in the car. You get the sides of the car. You get like split perspectives of racers. You get just like beautiful scenery, like the skyline in these shots just looks just perfect. Whether it was day, night, rainy, sunny, it was just all done very very well. I like they
Even
get
the collisions, like it was like it would take your breath away just watching like the collisions happening, and like even seeing Sonny's like old video of when he raced, and just seeing like him flip over and then all that stuff, and then what he saw basically going on through that whole entire moment was
like the
really
archive
cool.
footage,
Yeah.
yeah, from the 90s, and it was almost like that was that because they showed it in the beginning of the movie, and then they go back to it when he has like a nightmare about it because that's when I become of him in the race. Like it hits a lot of quote unquote cliche like beats, but the movie never felt cliche. It just felt very 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 bold and very confident. It's just great to see filmmaking like that. Like, and there's few movies now I would say it's like, well, that has to be seen in the theater. Um, this is definitely one of them. It is just engaging from start to finish. It's emotional. Like you really buy into the journey of Brad Pitt's character Sonny Hayes and the journey of Joshua
Yeah.
Pierce, the Damson Idris character. And it was never beating you over the head with its commentary. It was just very it felt very like, this is maybe what it would look like
Yeah.
in a scenario like this where you have an old timer, a chance back at the spotlight, and then a rookie. And it's obviously the movie. It's like them having to get along and work together.
But honestly, in the beginning, you don't even think that's gonna happen. Like I start to think, like when I did see the trailers, I thought it was gonna be more of them against each other,
Yeah,
and then they kind of
yeah,
just
they
did a
seem
whole
to hint at that.
180, and I was like, okay, I definitely like that more. Like I definitely feel more comfortable with this, seeing them, you know, kind of being like able to bond, but like not like too out there in your face. Like it wasn't too like they weren't skipping down the street. Like what, they played poker. That was really their
Yeah, I
bonding
just had more
time.
more
Yeah.
respect for each other
So
after
I feel
that.
like it wasn't trying to throw it in your face like, yeah, the bond, you need a bond. But it was trying to be like, hey, like ease in there, try to be a team.
Friendly competition.
Yeah.
Friendly
Yeah.
competition, exactly. It's and they I feel like in a way it's not very cliches. You have a lot of movies like this where one character's winning for a good amount of the runtime, and then maybe halfway through, um, the other character starts to win.
Hmm.
Starts to win, starts to pick up momentum. In this movie, there's a give and take for both of them. Um, one time, Sonny or Joshua gets injured in a race, like badly injured, burnt. He's out for a little bit, and then Brad Pitt's character,
Is out for a
spoilers
little
by
bit.
the way, is
Oh yeah.
is injured, is in the hospital. He's out for a bit, and he's off the team. And it's like they it felt more realistic. Like there's gonna be some great times, and there's gonna be some sucky times, and they're both just people who love what they do,
Yeah.
doing their best, and maybe being a bit too arrogant and a bit too reckless, but it's for the love of the game, basically.
But those races are pretty long. Like I didn't expect them to be driving that long because I'm like, don't they get dizzy at a certain point? Like, or like motion sickness. Like I just feel like I could not do 60 laps
Yeah, they
or
must
90
do
laps. I
other.
don't know how many they were doing, but I was just like, how long is that really taking them?
They show them do a lot of running, and they show them do a lot of like the simulations, but they must do other sort of intense exercise to
Oh yeah, probably like
sort of condition their body for that, because I think it was what 58 laps going at what, like well over 200 miles an
and
hour.
like you saw like how many times they can just stop things. Like to have that car like slow down the race. It's like that's gonna take even longer now because like they're trying to like
Oh, the
clean up
pit
the
stops,
yeah like
yeah.
it's just I couldn't imagine racing for that long and like having that adrenaline that whole entire time. I'd be like I need to get it over with, done.
Oh yeah,
But I
I
think that's why I appreciate the sport so much by seeing this movie because you feel that anxiety. Like I could never get in that car and just like go like that. Like and I really loved when he was like, I just feel like I'm flying. Like he enjoyed it. He was having fun. Like he was actually happy in that moment and he felt like he was flying and
free.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
his thing. And other people have their things that make them feel just like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely if I had if the movie has a thesis, which is weird saying a movie like this has a thesis, because at the end of the day, it's just a crowd pleaser. It's a good time, and I'm not saying that as an insult at all. That's actually quite the compliment. But it's that whatever you do it for the love of doing it. Like he says in the beginning, he says at the end, "Oh, it's not about the money. He does it because he loves to do it. It's about that competitiveness, and that comes with some arrogance and recklessness, as you see time and time again. But the intention is to just be the absolute best they can be at this sport, because they love it. It's thrilling. It's their passion, and it's not just about, oh, how much money am I going to win winning this race.
Yeah.
There's an art to it for them. And I just thought that was really cool. So
So, let's think. I really liked Kate. I think that was her name, but I thought she was really
Stacey Trout's
inspirational.
character.
I don't know.
That's who you mean,
Yeah,
right?
because she was, kind of like everybody kind of saw her as the underdog, and then, of course she fell in love with Sunny, but like I felt like they didn't focus too much on that. I feel like they focused on her main point and the team, and yes, they did have a scene with them together, but I think it was more about her, being so passionate about cars and it's not just a man's, job or a
Hmm.
man's sport. You could have, even with the woman who was changing the tires, like same thing with her, Sunny just showing that, it's not just a woman's or a man's job, to be, an engineer or whatnot. Like other people can of course do it as well. So I just thought that was also as Kate.
Yeah, and
As her storyline, I thought that was
an underappreciated part of the sport, of the engineers who go into designing the car.
Yeah,
That's
Ruben
cool.
at the end said, "You made a good car," and she just looks so happy. It's like, yeah, she's obviously probably never heard that come out of a man's mouth,
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah. And it was just by the end, you're just very, oh, good for you guys.
And the
Good for all
motherly love
involved.
of the son, you know, obviously, like, I mean, she was better than me. I would have been like shaking in my boots after watching my son go back on the track like that.
Yeah,
Or
she's. I just thought that was very wholesome. His mom
yeah,
supporting him and him loving his mom, and
she obviously knew, like, yeah, he's gonna go right back and do it.
in
So
the
I'll
cut.
be here.
Yeah, yeah, and she was
Yeah.
with him 100%. She was still supporting him. And the cousin character. I love how they didn't. I thought they were gonna make like a little conflict between him and his cousin because his cousin wants him to do all this press and go to these
Yeah,
parties, and
that
he's
part
like,
was kind of
"Nah, it's just noise." And he's like, "Oh, okay." He instantly understood and respected and got behind him. They didn't have a rift because of that, and
yeah. And I
that was
love that they
nice.
were all on the same board at one point. Like when he walked in, he was like, right after that scene, he walked in. You know, he got out his socks, and they all started running. Like they already knew, like this is what we got to do to keep the team alive. This is what we got to do to. And this is when Brad Pitt was in the hospital the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
So he wasn't even. Well, we did see him a little bit, but he wasn't in that whole scene because you know he was taken out.
Down for the
So,
count. Yeah,
and
yeah.
some of those, I was really scared. Like I was saying, Declan, I really hope nobody. When that first crash hit with the sun, I was just like, "There's no way you can get out of that." And then you know, Brad Pitt, you know, walked in, and dragged him out of the car, and you know, and then you just think, like,
If he hadn't have
some
stopped,
people. That's what I'm saying. Like some people, like I would have to stop. I would have to see. Like I would
yeah.
have to help. I couldn't. I don't even think if I was racing, I could just keep going. Like
Would
that's
if he
something
wasn't there, would
scary.
they still have been able to get him
I
out
don't
when things
know.
had been fine? They put out the car. I mean, he seemed like he
I don't.
acted
It seems
quickly,
like
which
the
was good.
stuff they wear is a little bit protective of like heat and maybe fire, because when they get out, they're not as like they're burned, but not as burned as I feel like they could be.
Yeah,
So maybe they try to have them wear some material that just in case, because most of the time, like if you're gonna crash, like there might be a fire, so it's probably likely to
flame proof.
flame
Yeah,
proof
yeah.
stuff. So, but all that stuff, even
Fire
Brad Pitt,
suppressant.
I mean, I was like, no way, this man is coming back again. You know, after that horrific scene of seeing him, you know, flip that one car and then just seeing his like bent like that. I was just like,
Yeah, he was like
but I also like
folded
how
like a
they took
pretzel
the
almost.
anxiety aspect of it. Like he wasn't afraid, but I feel like there was always a part of him that was like always in the back of his head, you know,
Hmm.
because you know trauma never goes away. You never forget it. It just you know you push it in the back of your brain. So I just feel like
He would always steel himself right before getting into the car and just be,
and
take a deep
pray
breath. He's probably thinking like this
probably.
time is gonna be my last every time. So
But
make
it's
it count.
him. It's like in his van. He has a picture of him and his dad. That's him. Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
racing. That's all he.
All he knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and probably all he has to like want to keep that connection with his dad. I really hope him and Kate meet on the road.
Meet again. Meet again somewhere down the line. Yeah,
I think
I.
it was down the road, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he says down the road. I was saying down
Yeah.
the road was what he literally said down the line.
Just because you
Figuratively
know,
speaking.
I do like that whole balcony scene where he's talking about his passion. She's just smiling. She's like, oh.
Yeah, that was cute. That was cute. The whole movie was just very, it's a feel good. It's a feel good movie by the end of it. Um, yeah, just a great time with the movies. It made improved my mood. I mean, I thought that I was in a really bad mood today, but it just brought me up, made me feel happy and good, and that's all you can ask for in a movie made these days. I feel like really it makes you think or
Glad it's getting the
makes
hype
you
it
good.
deserves.
Yeah, I hope it makes good amount of money at the box office,
Guys, just like Sinners.
just like
It's
Sinners.
crazy. Like all
I
these movies are doing well. So
I was gonna say I doubt it'll make Sinners money, but
Oh no, I'm just
but
saying,
I think
like,
it'll make good money because
I was
he
like,
did.
we saw Sinners like blow up a little bit before we even went to see it, so it was like,
Not necessarily. I think we saw it on opening. We heard buzz
yeah,
about it, but then
yeah.
it definitely
We still
exploded at the
heard buzz.
box
I mean, I
office.
still heard buzz about it. I mean, they're having like
Really big premiere
in New York.
in New York. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, hope it does well financially. It's already doing well critically. But yeah, our 2 cents.
And that looked better
Two
for the
thumbs up.
Superman one. But yeah, that was probably the next one we'll be back.
Yeah, yeah,
We got a
more
little
than
break.
likely.
Enjoy July 4th.
Yes.
We won't be going to see Jurassic.
No.
What's it called?
Jurassic World Rebirth. Something.
We will not be going to see. We will watch it eventually.
We'll watch it
We
eventually,
just
but for now,
kind of thought,
eh,
college kids, we don't need to go
save
see
our
that.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, go see F1. It's a good time. Between 28 days later, or 28 years later, and
I'm excited to see what
F1.
they do with that because I'm still kind of like, I don't really know how I feel about that movie just because I felt like it did leave on like a weird note. So,
But
we
yeah,
already talked about that.
between F1 and that movie, I'm excited to see where the rest of the year goes for movies because it hasn't been too good so far, but these last 2 movies have been pretty great and given me a lot of faith. Yeah.
Honestly, what's something that we've seen that just was terrible?
Well, it's not necessarily that I've seen things that are terrible. It's just that I haven't seen things that like really
Like, I
stood
liked
out to me much
Minecraft.
for this year.
I didn't know what was going on in that
It's
movie, and I
fun.
didn't know what the plot was. I didn't even play the game, but I thought like all the creatures and everything.
Yeah, I look on that
You can go
memory.
listen to that on the podcast.
Yes, listen to our thoughts on Minecraft
Yeah.
and other movies podcast. But anyway, yeah, that's our
Yeah, we'll be
thoughts
back
on F1.
for Superman, and this is our thoughts on F1 opening night.
Yeah. Yeah. So, thank you. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching.